Plaintiff Betty Baker is suing her former roommate for unpaid rent, utility bills, and a loan. Betty claims she doesn't like women because they're nothing but drama, but she thought she'd found the exception in the defendant. Betty says the defendant was supposed to be her best friend, but she moved without notice. Defendant Kristen Bryan admits she left Betty's home suddenly because she was afraid of how Betty would react if Kristen told her she was moving out. Kristen says after she moved out, Betty caused drama by cursing her out and threatening her at work.
The plaintiff is suing the defendant, her former friend, for unpaid rent, unpaid utility bills, and an unpaid loan. Betty, state your case.
Okay, I met Kristen. She started working at a Japanese steakhouse that I was at for about 3 years. I had taken a little bit of time off, and my friends started calling me and telling me that my twin had replaced me at my job. I thought this was a little weird because we lived in an area where there's no minorities whatsoever. So I go up there and I see, and I was like, oh, she does look like me, or she's cute. So I start working again, and we ended up being friends. And it took a while because I usually don't make friends with women because they tend to be, backstabbers.
Do you don't like women?
Not really.
Why? How old are you?
28.
Well, what, you had bad experiences?
Yeah, just the drama.
Yeah.
I like to steer clear of drama. I'm mostly a tomboy, so.
You're a tomboy. You don't look like a tomboy, but then.
I look like a woman, but I act like a man.
And you act like a man? Go ahead.
So we ended up hanging out outside of work, and it was at this time that I met her boyfriend at the time, and the very first time we go out together, he ends up cussing her out and breaking up with her and causing a huge scene inside the bar. So I was thinking this is not a very good guy for her. She had told me that he had been arrested previously for domestic violence.
On you, Kristen?
Mm-hmm. And then the second time I met him, we were hanging out at their house in the kitchen, and he comes out of the bedroom just long enough to throw a glass across the room and go back to bed. I don't know why he did that. So I was not getting a very good feeling about him.
Did you follow through on criminal charges?
Yeah, he ended up getting just a probation or something like that.
Let me ask you a question. How long were you with him before you decided to file criminal charges?
We actually were together about 3 years. So it had been a year. So I was still with him afterwards. So I got back together with him.
What do you say to women who, because you've been through it, but you made the break, I assume.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you do that?
I just left, and I said I was leaving, and I left.
She actually was packing her things 2 or 3 times a week and moving back and forth to her grandmother's house. And just constantly, I told her, aren't you getting tired of packing your things and unpacking your things constantly? And so I was encouraging her that I had got accepted into grad school in Florida, and I wanted her to come with me. And I had taken a trip, and I was gone for about 2 weeks. And during this time, I didn't speak with her at all. And whenever I came back, I was pleased to find that she had all of her things packed up again.
What was the final key for your leaving? Because what Betty just described is what I know so well.
It was just really hard because I was with him for so long and I loved him. And it was really hard because he would degrade me, make me feel like I was nothing and that I couldn't find better, that I was ugly. And finally I just realized, that I was done with it. And she was leaving for Florida right after that.
Right. I was moving 3 days after returning from my trip. Mm-hmm. So it was at this time that she decided that she would come with me. And
to Florida. So you're going to move to Florida with her?
Yes. Because I already had a house with a pool, and it was all set up and everything was already paid for.
And you're going to school down there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Everything was great when we moved to Florida. We were like best friends, super close. But financially, she was struggling because she ended up losing her job and then ended up losing another one. And during this time, I was trying to convince her to downgrade her car into maybe something more practical, like a Toyota.
Why? What were you driving?
What does she currently drive?
I love my car, and I want to keep my car. I have a Hummer.
You drive a Hummer?
Yes. And
do you have a job?
I have a job, yeah. Right now, I actually am not behind with my bills in my car. My bills are paid up with my car. I just, unfortunately, when I moved there with her, she knew I had $150 to my name.
And
I told her, yes. Because before, when I was with my boyfriend, I was okay financially.
She's suing you for rent, utility bills, and unpaid loans, and you're driving around in a Hummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so she didn't really make very good financial choices either.
How old are you, Kristen?
24.
Okay. What's it like living together?
It was fine. We got along great. My son loved her. We had a pool and everything. And
How old is your son?
He's 9. He was in love with her.
Well, also with him, it made me very uncomfortable because whenever when I agreed to move with her there, her son was only going to be there for a couple weeks. He was always watching me. I couldn't dress anywhere. I would be in the shower and get out of the shower and say, I'm naked. Don't come around the door.
Wide open.
Yes.
The door wide open, taking a shower.
No, I would leave the door open because it would get hot. And
He's 9, not 19. Tell her to cover up.
Well, when I tell him, don't come around the door, just don't come around the door.
Well, who takes care of the baby, the boy?
We have shared custody.
Your ex?
Yes.
So the kid's staring at you.
Yeah, he was always watching me all the
He
time.
loves the ladies. He's mature. He has a very high IQ. He's very mature for his age.
Okay, but IQ and maturity have nothing to do with each other. But anyway.
But he still loves the ladies.
But he still loves the ladies.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, go ahead. So why are you suing her?
Okay, right after we got there, she didn't have a phone, any way to contact her family. So she asked me if I would loan her $400 for a BlackBerry.
And what's the lesson learned from that? You don't spend money that you don't have, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So reluctantly, I ended up loaning her the money for the BlackBerry. And the agreement was she was going to pay me back the following month with financial aid reimbursement. Okay.
She didn't.
No, because she didn't get...
I didn't end up going to school.
Right.
So I
Well,
was
get a
behind on
job and
bills.
pay her the $400.
I had a job, but I couldn't even have enough money to pay her rent because the rent when we moved there was agreed that it was going to be $400.
Right.
I talked to her about moving out, and one time that we talked about it, she got really upset. So I knew if I talked to her about it or not, she was going to flip out.
Right, because
Why?
she owes me all that money. I don't want her.
And I told her, I said, even if I moved out,
all that money,
even moved home, and
You'll pay her the money.
I would pay you the money no matter
Did you?
what. Yes.
Did
I told
you?
her- No, I haven't been able to.
So
pay
you
her the money.
lied to her. The issue is, do you owe her money? And why aren't you paying her?
Because I haven't had the money to pay her, and that's why.
But she gave you $400 for a BlackBerry when you needed her help.
I fed her the whole time we were in Florida.
Why did you do all this for her, Betty?
I'm a helper by nature.
Oh, hogwash. I'm so tired of people saying they're helpers. What's in it for you? What is in it for you?
Counselor. I'm
It was
trying
in
to
it
help
for her
people.
is for me to pay that half of the rent, so it'd be cheaper for them because I didn't even sign a lease for a month before that I was there because I was still
All right, so
deciding
she
with
needed
her
a
if I was
roommate. She
moving
could have
back.
posted it at school. What school did you go to?
Argosy University.
What is it?
Argosy University.
That's in Florida?
Yes, there's a location here too.
Okay.
It's an online school.
It's an online school and you moved to Florida to go to an online school?
It's not just online. I take a lot of my classes online.
Okay, you say she owes you rent for July and October,
Yes.
and utility bills, and the $400 for the BlackBerry. Do you owe it? What do you think you owe her?
The phone, yes, I do owe her that.
You owe her the $400.
Yes. The October, I didn't live there on October. I moved out on the 4th.
Did you give her notice?
No.
Why not?
The reason why is because when I talked to her before, she got really crazy and was going to flip out on me.
You're afraid she's going to flip out.
Yes.
She waited till I work doubles on Saturdays and Sundays. And Saturday morning, I leave for work at 6 a.m. Around 5 that evening, the other roommate texted me and asked me if Kristen moved out. And I said, no, why would she move out?
Because she had gone in my room and looked around.
So Kristen talked to the other roommate that morning and told her that she would have rent the next day and told her, and then later waited till she left to pack up all of her things, waited till the other roommate left.
Why do you think she did that?
Because she didn't want to be discovered until Sunday night when I got home from work.
But don't
Packed all
you
my
think,
stuff up and left.
Betty, there's some reason that she's sneaking out on you.
Because she didn't want me to get angry. She didn't want me to know about it till
I didn't want her to flip
Sunday
out on
night.
me.
Yeah.
And she ended up calling my work and called and flipped out on me, cussing me, threatening me, saying she was going to sue me.
But I was angry. How are you going to be my best friend? Someone that just a couple
you know
weeks
why,
prior
Betty?
told me she
'Cause-
loves me and appreciates me.
Betty, I got the undercurrent here.
Right.
One of the things you need to know is that with women who tend to be abused or beaten by men, they very often find themselves in similar situations. All right. And, so many women have asked me over the years, why do men beat me? You know, and you've got to try to figure out what is it about that guy that attracts you to him? What is it about you that attracts you to someone that you're fearful of? I don't care if it's a male or female, that you move out in the middle of the day when they're not there. I don't think it has to do with the money, because you're liable for the money, and make no mistake, you're going to pay it. But the fact that she moved out, Betty, tells me something. The fact that you say you don't like women, you don't trust women, you're going to take care of her, you're going to move to Florida. I mean, you were trying to be more to her than a friend, and whether she wants to be with you, I don't much care. But you two have got to, I don't want to hear anymore, I'm about to render my verdict. The two of you have to come to grips with what your relationship was. Whether you want to admit it to me or not, I don't need to know, it doesn't matter to me. But what you did was you found yourself a similar situation. Now, you did not give her notice. In terms of the utility bills, what was there agreement that you'd pay utilities?
A third of the utility bills.
Was there that agreement, Kristen?
That was after I had already moved in and I didn't have a choice. I was there. I'm
going to give you $380 for utilities. I mean, that's kind of included. I really think you rushed her. You didn't like the boyfriend, the guy who's jumping out of bed throwing glasses at the wall, Prince Charming there. You knew that she was having problems. You convinced her that she'd have a better life with you, and the loan of $400. So we've got $380 for the utilities, $400 for the unpaid loan. Verdict for the plaintiff. So ordered. Thank you.
I wasn't expecting her to move out when she did, and it took me a while to get over that.
sorry things didn't work out.
Sorry things didn't work out too.